2, 1, live. We're up. Live YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Welcome to the suck.
Yeah. Back at it. How come it feels like I'm in stereo now?
Stereo.
You look like you should be on an episode of Mountain Men, though. I'm not gonna lie.
He just bought an ATV, so he's got to look the part.
Yeah, I haven't shaved in like 2 weeks. I'm like, I'm just keeping it now.
You remind me of the time.
Dirt in my beard from the trail. It's going to be great.
So one November, I fell down my stairs. And I fell down my stairs so hard, feet first, that when my foot hit the banister, it split my foot open. It looked like a hot dog that you left in the microwave.
Oh.
So I had to go to Bridgeport Hospital at like 10 o'clock on a Saturday night.
Was everybody laughing at you? Because I'd have been laughing. I think it's hysterical.
No, because they didn't know how I... No.
That's disgusting.
I love watching.
No, I do that too, especially on ice.
Yeah, on ice.
But
when their legs get all like Bambi-ish and they just fucking go, boom, fall.
Yeah, there's that video of the guy watching the kid slip and fall at school with his kid.
Yeah.
But you remind me, because here I am, I'm like, crap, now I got to go to the hospital.
Merry Christmas, Jim Trensky.
Merry Christmas. But so not only do I have to go to... Yes,
Christmas.
Tonight, Happy Hanukkah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Happy Hanukkah.
But
crazy nights.
I go to the Bridgeport Hospital wearing a camouflage Patriots hat, a Guns N' Roses T-shirt, and like black sweatpants.
So you fit right in, is what you're
And
saying.
I'm being wheeled out of the wheelchair, out of the place. I'm like, Jesus Christ, look at me. Like, look at me. I'm a freaking mess.
Yeah.
But I blend right in.
Nobody even looked at you sideways, right?
Well, there was this one crazy lady in there that kept wanting to like take the bandage off and look at my split foot.
Oh, nice. Those people, the ones that just hang around the emergency room.
She wouldn't leave me alone.
I see your freak show injury. Yeah, those people exist, man. It's a weird thing.
Like it was like an emergency room Cowan or eavesdropper.
Yeah.
She just like, I gotta see it. I'm
I can't not see it.
Right? No, she actually said that.
Yeah, no.
Like after she left for like 20 minutes.
You cannot see it.
You cannot. You keep it up. You cannot see.
We ready, boys?
Yeah, I guess we're ready.
5,
I thought that was the episode.
3, 2. Hello and welcome to the Freemasons podcast with your hosts, Right Worshipful Brother George Mudry,
Worshipful Brother Joe,
and Worshipful Brother Ken.
And we are covering episode 162, Oak Island Revisited.
I'm going to warn you right now, we're all fired up, especially me.
I'm
like shot out of a cannon.
You guys are more fired up than I am, but that's
we'll
all right.
Get you there. We'll get you there.
You may want to skip this episode, friends.
We're going to cover Oak Island. We're going to talk about the findings. We're going to try to talk about Masonry involved in it. I know that there were some prominent Freemasons who were very well involved in it.
Yeah.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Yeah, he was one of
them.
absolutely.
Many investors were Freemasons. One of the current, well, not so much current anymore.
Well, he's still hanging around. I think he's
Blankenship?
No,
Barkhouse.
Charles
Barkhouse. Yep. He was always on there with his Mason hat on and everything.
Yeah, he's the one that sabotages the equipment when they get close.
Exactly. Not this season.
Oh, we're almost there. Just let it run overnight and it'll be fine. Guys, I hate to tell you, in the middle of the night, the drill, the line snapped and the hydraulics are shot.
He's always the one that finds the problem.
Yes, he is.
That's funny.
Hey, guys,
anyway, so we're going to cover that Oak Island. We're going to hit that up. We'll do our due diligence to it. But first, let's go through some... Gotta love the Canadian flag. Kurt Miller, thank you very much for the donation.
Appreciate that.
Yep, she's right there.
We got a lot of compliments on our performance of the Canadian national anthem last time.
Really?
Yeah,
I doubt
people
that.
loved it. They loved it.
I doubt that.
They loved it.
Were you dressed up for it?
No, I just sang it.
You just sang it.
I know all the words. I know all the words from all those years of playing hockey. I know the Canadian national anthem.
Also the Soviet national anthem. You should have been like dressed up like a monkey.
Well, that I know the Soviet national anthem.
Yeah, I do.
You're the one who freaking set us up with the.
Sure do, comrade.
That one I learned from Nikolai Volkov.
Oh, really? Yeah. I learned it from Hunt for Red October because I watched the movie.
You don't remember him and the Iron Sheik going in?
I do. What do we got for likes, boys?
All right. I got 2 likes on Facebook. This is actually our 21st and 22nd like this month. So we're doing pretty well.
Very nice.
So we've got, and I apologize if I pronounce your name wrong. First name is Hiva. So you're either Hiva or Hiva Bahrami and John Haraberta. So Hiva Bahrami and John Haraberta.
Very nice.
Mm.
Kenny.
I'm trying to figure out how to switch to just our likes on Instagram for some reason. I'm saying, oh, here we go. Followers got it. All right. Let's see. Where did we leave off? We already said Josh Mantello.
Yes, we did.
Okay. So Walter J. Crow, Chuck Wells, Ivan Gasper, Lady Miko. We already did her. Okay, never mind. Aaron McGoldrick, Nisei, and Nate
Aaron McGoldrick.
Tyndale. I guess we don't have any new followers because I remember all those from the last
I
time.
remember.
We'll toast him again.
He goes by AA Ron.
All right.
A Ron. A Ron.
Kurt Miller. He says flag looks awesome, and the anthem well wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
Mm.
that to me, in my mind, we did a great job.
Well, we've got to sing the national anthem for every flag that we erect on the wall, right? Erect. It's not erect. It's like plaster.
I don't know. Do the Aussies even have a national anthem?
Yeah.
Of course they do.
They just
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
Okay, well,
That's it.
I can
I
sing.
thought it was
We can-
Jailhouse Rock, right? Because
they're a prison.
Yeah.
Oh.
Boom. I'm going to catch hell for that one. Anyway, let's toast them, brothers. Ken, didn't you lead the last? Doesn't
Let
matter.
Kenny do it.
Draw straws. Draw straws.
Ken,
There's
All
one
right.
straw on the table.
Go ahead,
That's
Ken.
it. All right. Brethren, right hand to arms.
to arms,
Ready.
ready,
Aim.
aim.
Fire good fire. Fire all. Together, brethren.
Vivat, vivat, vivat.
Also, just want to make mention to these beautiful cups that
Oh yeah, now we're
Worship
kind of
Brothers-
matching.
Worship Brother Joe got us for
Cheers.
Christmas.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
It's a fun
Not
Merry
a lot more.
Christmas. They can be found online at This Girl Does That. A very nice woman,
Nice.
Krista Verbitsky, that I went to high school with, has a little ceramics
Look
company
at
on the
that.
side. So.
Very
And it's in your
nice.
town, too. She
Yes.
did a Great job.
Misa like.
Nice work.
So again, that was This Girl Does. Actually, she sells. They sell her stuff at one of those antique stores right around the corner there,
No kidding.
or Crafty Short.
Oh, probably what is it? Tickle Pink or something like that.
No, it's like a woman's name.
Oh,
Is her regular thing, is this part of like her normal inventory, like the square and compasses? Or did you
No,
have
they
her do
had
that
them
special?
custom made for just
Oh,
us.
wow.
The
look at
only
that.
3 of those mugs exist, and they're right here.
How about
Wow.
that? I still go with they should have made Ken's white. You should have got the white.
I thought of it. That is a really good idea.
Is there some symbolism behind like us being red and you being blue?
I went red
Commandery.
for
Commandery,
you guys
York
are
red.
involved with Commandery, so
That's cool.
figure just switch it up a little bit.
So quick housekeeping stuff. I'm no longer secretary
Housekeeping.
Congratulations.
after January or installation. I'm done with
Are you
secretary.
taking any new office? You're not going to talk about it.
Maybe junior
Okay.
steward.
Oh,
Oh, you're starting at the bottom. You're going to work your
Yeah.
way through the whole line again? Is that
No.
what's going to happen?
No.
You're just filling in for a year.
Just helping out our Warshall Master elect, Steve Saxton.
Oh, congratulations.
If you don't know who Steve is, he was episode 8,
Oh.
which was the beginning of the polar era, if you
I
will,
remember it well.
where I was basically
pretty much whenever he's on, he comes in and takes over the show.
Yeah.
pretty much.
We should have him up.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
Got it. The
Um,
new elected masters always have to come on to the
absolutely.
show.
Be the
right?
elected master,
Yeah.
and he will be. He's going to be taking over for 2021. God bless him.
Congrats, brother.
Because after this year,
You say that every year. We say that every year.
um,
What did I say to you
but
about my mother-in-law? Just, I'm out. I'm not doing anything.
No,
blah blah blah.
and what did you get elected as?
Senior warden.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
But I am out of secretary. Thank God.
You filling in for a year, or are you doing the progression? From
We'll
there?
see how it
kinda-
goes.
With you guys, it kind of depends on who gets voted, right? It's
Yeah.
like not a progressive thing necessarily.
Well, as I said it before, I've said it again. The reason why I left the secretary's position for multiple reasons, but one of the major ones is I think that when you become a past master and you are a quote unquote senior patriarch of the lodge, one of the things that I absolutely hated in my master year is those brothers who had been in their respective chairs for 15, 20 years and they secretly, in a sense, controlled the lodge.
Mm,
Dictated what happened. They controlled, they're puppet masters, basically.
Yeah.
And one thing I didn't ever want to do was to be that same person. Things had been said And again, I'm not saying there's disharmony in Morningstar, but there are brothers who have said like, oh, George is because again, you both are now proud members of Morningstar Lodge number 47.
Yeah.
And something was said along the lines of George is trying to stack the lodge with his boys.
The deck.
Stack the deck with his boys, which is not the case.
No.
But by me bowing out of the chair for a couple of reasons. One, secretary's job is a big job.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot
And
of work. There's more work than master, I'd have to say.
Done it for 5-6 years now.
Yeah.
So
I do
time for
too.
me to ride off to the sunset. But the other thing is I don't ever want the lodge or my brothers to feel that that's what I'm doing.
No.
So if I remove myself from that position of power, I'm willing to help. Jim Rafferty's taking over for secretary.
Yeah.
Oh,
Raph.
congratulations,
Rafferty.
Raph.
And
But
basically,
it's good because it's transparent. People know if more brothers in the lodge know the inner workings of these positions. Not saying that there would be any improprieties, but even if, sometimes you just don't have the right skill set or you just screw up, people make mistakes. But the more people that know how those things work, they can get involved. They can help out. God forbid somebody takes ill and leaves the lodge. It's not like, oh my God, this person has everything and we don't know what to do. Somebody can step in. It's
Right.
healthy.
Right.
It's healthy.
it's good to shake some shit up sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New ideas. You get different ideas.
Sometimes you got to bang out your shoes just to
Yeah.
get shit off the bottom.
Wait till I bang out the trustee shoes. But you are actually you were elected a trustee as well.
I was, yes.
But I was elected
And you-
made chairman of the trustees. So you
You-
work for me now,
And you got a nickname,
Joey Bats.
Joey Betts.
Joey Betts. Yeah,
I'll let you guys figure that one out.
it's the one with the money.
Kid needs braces if you pay me.
Yeah, if you pay me.
Lost your job if you pay me.
Kurt Miller, sometimes it's hard to stay out of lodge politics. Yeah, no, 100%. And that's partially why, sometimes you just need to shake the tree a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we should be in advisory capacity.
And that's what I'm gonna do.
Consultants, you know what I mean? And as soon as people kind of start seeing you through the lens of, oh, this guy is just kind of trying to continue the lodge on, like it's an extension to his masters here, that's not good.
Well, I also believe, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, that I firmly believe that before, and again, it will never happen, but I think it's very important for somebody before they serve as master, serve as secretary. 1-2 years.
at the
thank
very
you.
least, an assistant.
At least an assistant.
An assistant
Understand the inner
There's
workings.
so
of it.
much that a master has no freaking clue that
Yeah.
goes on behind the scenes. They sit in the chair, they get to wear the funny hat, and they think
Well,
that they're
You're the executive, right?
Right.
It's like the people that are actually executing all of the work and stuff
Mhm.
are, it's a secretary, it's the treasurer, it's the stewards getting ready for dinner. Like everybody has their own job in the lodge, but you as the master make the final call. You're the decision maker.
and I've
I
always
think you're right, though. They should understand every function of the lodge.
one of the things I've always said is what happens is me as secretary and a new master comes in, we'll just throw a name out there. We'll just say Rocco for chance.
Okay.
Let's just use Rocco as an example though. Okay. Rocco comes in, he's the master, he can do his ritual, he's good at
No,
dictating the
we
lodge,
give Rocco a hard time.
and I go tits up. And I take a dirt nap. Who's gonna know what the hell I do?
Exactly.
This is what happened with Washer brother Earl.
Right.
Who, when he had his heart attack, we didn't know what to do. And then, we tried to get him onto the accounts. Forget it. The bank didn't want to hear shit. Had to have signed letters of every master notarized. So the banks, they got to cover their ass too.
Right.
Right.
And it was a shit show. And it was at that pretty much point is where we said we need to have a assistant treasurer and an assistant secretary.
Mhm.
Rafferty was my assistant secretary. Last year, I kind of started to show him the ropes. He looked at the secretary, which Grand Lodge, I'll give kudos where it's due. Grand Lodge puts out a secretary seminar, which is actually very good.
Deb does a great job.
does a
Shout
great
out to
job.
Deb. She's
Mhm.
phenomenal.
And that's he got a little bit involved in that, and he started asking questions, which is great. And this year, I'm throwing him as sheep amidst the wolves. But I am going to. I took a step back. Now, mind you, I want to just say, assistant secretary, assistant treasurer is an appointed position.
Right.
So generally, it wouldn't change. But if Rafferty gets into a jam, me being his assistant, whereas before he was mine, we've kind of flip flop roles. He gets into a jam, he could always call on me. And again, any brother of any lodge, anywhere, can always call on me and say, "Hey, I gotta ask a question,
Mhm.
and that goes for anybody listening. Anybody, I'm pretty much an open book, and I give advice as best as I can with the information that I have. So, I wish Rafferty all the best. And
Yeah,
again,
he'll do fine.
I'm going to be there for my lodge. I'm not bowing away. One thing I hate as past masters is when they just
Disappear
Fade
when they go on their
away.
past
Sure,
master
don't say
holiday.
anything.
they go on their past master 4-year holiday. and
Yeah,
they
I
come
never
back.
got one of those.
No, still haven't.
I did
done
2
that.
years
go on.
master, 2 years chaplain, 2 years secretary. Now back as senior warden.
They go on their 4-year hiatus, and then they come back bitching about the dues when they get raised. Why are the dues so high?
No, yeah, that's not me.
Where have you been?
I got appointed Tyler this year, so I'm going from
Twilier?
chaplain to
Nice.
Tyler. Yeah, so
Kurt Miller, something that happens is many times when a new person joins, he naturally tries to bring others with him, having the appearance of stacking the deck in your favor. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it happens.
Kind of what happened with me. I started bringing in people because our lodge was on death's bed. I mean, it was pumping CPR into the damn lodge.
it was
I
a while
started-
ago. Yeah.
Started bringing people into the lodge, and yeah, same thing. I mean, well, then again, that's on a prior episode.
Well, but even still, like some people could call it stacking the deck.
Mhm.
But if you're bringing in brothers that even if they're
Quality.
right, and if you're getting like Ken and I affiliated
Mhm.
here at Morningstar,
Mhm.
and it was like we had something to bring to the table.
Yeah,
we had
well, and
something
that's-
to help
100%.
the
And
lodge
we all know
survive.
we all know guys too,
Mhm.
Yeah,
and that's what you need. You need new, not currently Freemason.
Mhm.
right. You got to
Men
expand
that
that
come to the
network.
door.
Right.
I mean, the reason, part of the two reasons why I don't know if I invited you guys or you guys asked to join. I can't remember exactly Morningstar Lodge, but
We asked.
one of you did.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, one
Right.
of the reasons why I was very enthused to bring Joe in is because our lodge has had issues with trustees. Not. I don't want to get too much in detail, but
Let's just say it hasn't been managed very well.
Yes.
That's fair. It has not been managed as well as it could.
there you go. And you at Ashlar
Ashlar.
Hospital,
Yeah, I did 3 years, and I was lead trustee 2 of those 3.
so you knew what you were doing.
Mm.
So right then and there, I think it was great bringing you here to Morningstar. Ken, being another past master, also part of Harmony 42, which is a relatively large lodge.
Mhm.
Morningstar is not used to having a large lodge for many, many years. Only recently have we gotten much bigger,
Yeah,
although
you guys are
COVID
big.
is kicking the shit out of us.
Oh yeah, it is.
Everybody's
Um,
suffering there. Yeah.
But if there was ever, well, hey, this is how our lodge does it. It's always good to get advice. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
there's nothing worse than having a master. Well, that's not how our lodge does it. Well,
Yeah.
and I adapted many things that I learned at Ashlar Hospital, brought here to Morningstar Lodge
Yeah.
because I thought they were cool as shit and very symbolic.
It's always got to be an idea. You always float something as an idea, not a directive, right? When it's coming from
Right.
another lodge, we all kind of
Mhm.
have our lodge what's the
Tradition.
term traditions, right? And that
Well, it's also it's tradition and it's also experience. Like
Mhm.
with Ashlar Aspatuck, we had our trustees had a bunch of money in
Mhm.
10, 15 different funds.
oof.
And it was like, we need to just, rather than having, no offense to any of the prior trustees, but other than maybe one or two, we didn't have any solid financial people.
Mhm.
So you know what? Now we've got it all consolidated into one account with one of the major brokerages, and
Mhm.
they manage it for us.
Right.
And they're a lot better at it than we were.
Right.
Lunatic, greetings.
Hey, what's going on?
Going on?
Hey.
Kurt Miller. But it also brings new people to the lodge. Isn't that what we all want?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what most,
As
that's what
long-
most people want.
As long as you're bringing in quality people.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't get your hair across your ass as a master because you're pissed off that the past masters are breaking your balls and just start throwing warm bodies in chairs.
Mhm.
And you don't want to do that because that in the end that will end up hurting your lodge for a couple reasons. One, you're going to those brothers that you brought into the lodge have served their purpose in helping you and may bow away. And now you're left with an empty damn deck again. And the other part of that is you don't want yes men. Again,
Right.
even here, on what we do here on the podcast, you guys aren't yes men.
Yes, sir. Whatever you say, sir.
No, you need that. You need that.
Rafferty and Joe are usually the more, no, don't do that.
Yeah, we're a bit more firm. Ken's more like, you might want to think about that a little bit longer. Yeah, no, he's gentler with it.
I don't say no. It's a terrible idea.
And the referee like, no, you can't.
It's
No,
stupid.
yeah,
Don't do
no.
that.
Yeah, no, like I'll be like, hey, I got this idea. What do you guys think? Joe's like,
Yeah, no.
no. Raf's like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But I love
right, easy there.
Well, the fun part of that though is then you try to repackage it 5 different ways.
Yes, I do.
And we're like, no, it's the same thing. You
Yeah, it's
just
the
put a
same idea,
different.
George.
You just wrapped it differently. No.
What happened to Oak Island?
Yeah, we'll get
to that
there
right now. We're
just
we're
warming
on a
up.
roll.
We're just warming up. No, we were just sharing the news of
we're-
our new positions.
Yeah.
Covering housekeeping stuff. But anyway, let's get into Oak Island. I will be honest, I did not watch the latest and greatest episode. The last one that I seen is they were punching a bunch of holes into the ground over by, what is it, R6 now or something like that, or H6 or something, one of the holes. They're digging through the swamp. They believe that they found some sort of a structure in the corner of the swamp.
Yeah.
And the other thing that they found, this is a spoiler alert if you don't watch Oak Island. And the other thing is they're digging in lot 15 where they found what they believe is a tunnel entrance. So,
the last episode clears up that hole.
Really, it does?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's
So the
where they put
tunnel-
all the poop.
Yeah, that's right. It's like the shithole. So, so the reason they started digging there in the first place is because they believed that it was a tunnel entrance based on something Fred Nolan, like there was a map that he had, and there was a tiny little thing, and it like looked like a tunnel, and it said tunnel entrance ? And they're like, well, he never followed up on it. This must be, and it's like he probably never followed up on it because
Because he
was like,
walked over and goes,
Yeah, it's not actually
not-
tunnel
I can
entrance, my bad.
see one of those archaeologists getting in the hole and be like, oh, this dirt is
This
so
is
loose.
clay. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Shit! This is shit!
Do I have shit on my nose?
It shifted from sand to clay. It's a much softer, smoother substance.
It's got a funny smell to it, like it's
Yeah.
rotten.
But they believe it to be like a pine tar pitch kind of
kiln,
furnace.
yeah,
like you
yeah.
have to, I guess, burn those trees or something and do something to make
Well-
pine tar, and that's a big deal for shipping.
Yes.
So that's what they think this thing was. It was a big
Right.
kiln, and
Mhm.
and they're like, oh, it's so archaeologically significant. I'm like,
Right.
yeah, but you're treasure hunters. Like, let's take the
Right.
cameras away from this now. Like, that's interesting. You
Right, that's
do
good. Can you show me some gold.
30 seconds on it, and then go back to the finding of the gold. Like,
So, all right. So, what do you think about last season with the swamp and they found that big wooden, what do they call it? Not wooden, stone road, right? They found that.
I thought that was interesting. I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking
Almost
about?
like a pier, but that's
Yes.
when they built the brothers built the coffer dam around
yeah.
Smith's Cove.
Oh,
No,
was
no,
the-
not
That's
that.
different. He's
That's
talking
that.
about the swamp.
I'm talking about in the swamp.
Oh,
where they were
it's like
up
a
by the eye of the
stone.
swamp.
Oh,
They
yeah,
found
okay,
that,
yeah.
Stone,
Almost like a platform,
like
or
a stone
something.
platform. Yeah.
They said it was like a road.
They call it the stone road or something
Yeah.
like that.
I think they're full of crap.
I don't know what you would use something like that for. They found like a circle of stones up in the eye of the swamp too. That was
Yes.
another thing, and I'm like, but you dug in it. There's nothing there now, and they drained that whole swamp. I can't imagine how expensive that was. By the way,
Yeah.
That's why he keeps
All
wearing his
that
Maury
water.
Vineyard shirt because
he's got a
he's got a
Promote his business in order to pay for
vineyards.
this.
Absolutely.
I gotta respect that. You know.
And you know what?
I mean, you are wearing a podcast.
the production
Buddy.
company's paying for a lot. of
Given
this.
to me as a gift.
I'm just joking. So that stone road I find interesting, and one of the things I had thought about it was it's some sort, at least the way I look at it, is it's some sort of a foundation to potentially something wooden over the top of it, like a pier or something like that, or because you have to have some sort of a solid ground.
Right.
And again, others have speculated that the island itself was actually at one point 2 islands, and that swamp
Was
is
kind of filled in.
it was filled in and made into a swamp to bridge the 2 islands.
Mhm.
That most certainly could be. The fact that they say, oh well, it was to hide a sunken ship. Yeah.
that seems-
No, maybe they
Overreach.
just got sick of walking around. They're like, oh, let's
Yeah.
just connect it.
We're gonna that's exactly what I was thinking. Let's just connect it.
Yeah.
We do it all the time here in construction.
Doesn't mean that
modern
Templars did it.
right.
By the way, just full disclaimer,
There we go.
I'm pretty angry about Oak Island because
Okay.
I haven't watched a single episode this season. I watched the prior 7.
Mhm.
We'll spoil it for you. Don't worry.
No, it's okay. When they find something, I'll hear about it, but they won't. But I get pretty fired up and angry about it, so I apologize ahead of time.
So, well, thank you for that disclaimer.
You're welcome.
I can see him getting angry already.
So I think personally that they bridged 2 islands together to make one giant Oak Island. I think it was 2 separate islands that was bridged. I don't think to hide anything. I think it was just for logistical things to move from
To make it easier.
Make it easier.
It was
right?
farmland.
You're trying to get something from one side to the other, even if it wasn't
Right.
completely separate.
Right.
You would at least think that it was a marshy area, and as you're trying to bring heavy things across, like these oxen with their little shoes, it sinks in the ground. So, like, hey, we gotta fortify this. We gotta build like a road or something.
Right.
Otherwise, we gotta go all the way around. Or,
That's what I'm thinking.
You would think that geologist that never shuts up, that always has to be in the limelight, would have something to say about the 2 different island theory. Like, wouldn't a geologist be able to look at, like, I don't know, something features and be like, oh yeah, this was definitely 2 separate islands. Like, you should be able to tell, right? Like, that's
yeah, I'm not a big
the
fan.
problem is, and
Terry
this is-
Matheson. Is that his name?
Yes.
Oh,
The
God,
problem
I hate
is
that guy.
with that, if I may, that island has been torn up years.
Oh my
after
God!
year
For
after
100 years, that
So
island's been
there
torn
are
up.
no more
Natural
the features that were natural are no longer. The entire island's been. I mean, what's the guy? The back in the day did.
Oh, with the backhoe, he
With
just
the
like dug
backhoe.
up.
Oh,
all
the guy that
scar.
had
Yeah.
a giant
Yeah.
meteor pit in
Yeah.
the middle of the freaking.
That was
It's like just with a giant backhoe, just
Yeah.
up there with a big freaking pipe in his mouth,
I
a
forget
cigar
his
in his
name,
mouth.
but Yeah,
right?
I know what you're talking about.
He just tore ass around that island the entire time, just
Yeah.
fucking shit up left and right. So like,
He couldn't have any.
there's no more natural features
how
to be
could
like,
anything be
yes,
left?
it's 2 islands. You know,
Yeah, everything is so disturbed and it's just crazy. I can't stand that guy. What's Matheson? Is that what his name?
Terry Matheson. I
Terry
think,
Matheson.
yeah.
I do
Yeah.
like who's the actual archaeologist guy?
Oh, Laird Niven.
Yeah, I like him. 'cause
Yeah,
he's so
mellow.
he seems like he's high
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah.
Hey, look, Laird, we think we found. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and he's
that's
so
pretty cool, yeah.
he's so indecisive too. He's always like, it could be.
You're right.
It's
Do you
possible.
think this could be this
It's like,
this
all right,
pine tar
Laird,
kill?
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
Everything's like somewhere, man. Like, yeah, he's,
yeah, that could be a pine tar kill.
So
yeah.
what you're saying is we have somebody who again, please. This is all joking aside. This is
Yeah.
all comedy purposes. We don't. We
please
don't mean
don't
any
sue us.
We don't mean any
defamation.
disrespect to this. But you have.
We don't?
Except for Terry Matheson.
But you have. So you have Laird who's kind of laid back, and then you have
Gary Drayton.
Gary Drake.
I knew
It's
you
a
were-
coin.
Yeah, but
Oh, look at it, Bobby Dazzler. Oh, top pocket fine.
but you know that you put him together with Jack Begley, and like they're just it's like watching Abbott and Costello.
Oh my God,
It's
and-
great. It's entertainment.
Can Jack Begley buy like a new shirt? Every freaking episode, he's wearing that freaking green Under Armour shirt.
I don't know. He enjoys.
You know
it.
what though? Okay,
It
his
doesn't have any
defense.
tags.
In his defense, he is the one who's always got the shovel. Everybody else is just.
He wears the same shirt every day for
I
the
would
whole
too if I-
summer.
No.
But he's enthusiastic. He's happy to
Okay,
just
hold
be
on.
there.
Hold on, hold on.
Right. Here's the-
Again, let me make a defense. You want to know how I shop? I walk in, I find the stack of jeans or pants that are my size, and I'm like, yep, grab the whole stack, throw it in
Yeah.
the thing. I don't like shopping. So,
So you got like a 2T Husky?
I go, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a medium husky.
Yeah.
What was that? Freaking 50 First Dates?
A child,
like that.
children small.
What's that mean? I'm a medium husky.
No, but I think I honestly they intentionally wear the same clothes every episode so that they could splice and edit it however they want.
That's
it can
exactly
go
right.
totally
Yeah.
out of time. So it just goes to show you it's all.
And you have to kind of
produced.
take into consideration that this is over the span of probably all the way from, would say, March to almost November.
Yeah, and
So
they're
this
picking
isn't
and choosing.
something
spring
that-
to winter, and then they got to shut
Yeah.
it down because of the weather.
So, I mean,
I don't know. I got to.
and not for nothing though. I believe that a lot of, I know the 2 brothers, the Lagina brothers, they don't live there, right?
No,
And a lot of these other guys probably don't live in the area, so they probably pack a suitcase and stay in a freaking hotel, or they have a rental cottage for the summer or something. So I mean, you're not bringing your entire wardrobe from wherever you live 2.
Come on, man.
Come on,
He's got
Joe.
more than one
Come
shirt
on.
for 6 months.
It's a production. There's wardrobe
I
involved.
think I think we send them all OGs and see if they wear
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
them.
They won't wear it if I'm associated with it because
Charles Barkhouse might wear it.
Barkhouse might, but you know, you got me. You mentioned one of my triggers, the Lagina brothers.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't mind Marty as much.
Oh yeah, the other guys.
Rick,
Yeah.
metaphorically speaking, I'd like to punch him right in the face
Why?
because he's so annoying. He cries every other episode.
Yeah.
Really?
It's all about showmanship. with the guy.
God.
And his
I'm gonna
speech is all stilted. It's like
present you with
like
the
that.
rock we found. Like, oh, Rick.
He's emotional about it. The guy
my
cares about
God.
this
Then,
stuff.
dude, like, don't dye your hair and leave your beard gray.
No.
Why? I would totally do that. I would do a skunk stripe right in the middle of my head.
Oh my God! And the
Is that how
punk
much of a
nephew that's
douche?
running around, their
Or you
sister's
know what I
kid
would
that's
do?
running around.
Or you know what I would do?
Oh, and the
When I
two
start to go
both
gray,
of them are like. the
when I
most
start to do
annoying
gray,
kids.
I'm gonna like do the Wolverine. You know, I've ever seen like the back of a Wolverine. It's not like a skunk. It goes
Yeah,
around
like
the
a
outside.
Wolverine, a badger.
I would do around the outside of it. So the outside is gray, middle's black.
Yeah. What's his name? Peter.
That's what I would do.
What's the nephew's name?
Peter Frenetti.
Yes, Peter
Yeah.
Frenetti, and then you got Marty's kid running around on him.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but they don't.
So
really
let's get
talk.
into the let's get into. I know you guys are on your freaking tear.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna let you have it. I'll let you have it for a little bit. Sorry, I apologize. But okay, let's get into one of the things that I really am interested in, and that is definitely what that weird thing is in the middle of the swamp.
in the middle of the swamp. Oh, that
So
thing they got the return
They
from
call seismic anomaly
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah.
the hell they're saying. It's in the shape of
Okay.
a ship.
Please.
and then they never said anything.
But then they
about
went
it
out and they
after.
put the things in the ground and they found nothing.
Yeah, and they quietly dismissed that. I think.
No, but they still talk about it.
Okay.
We're going back to the
Can we be clear though
Yeah.
that you
Swamp's
know
not dead.
with what they're finding, like 150 feet under the ground, that shouldn't be there.
Yeah, that's probably the weirdest thing. Like the although
So I
like,
know you hate the show and the show pisses you off.
There's
and
been a
everything.
lot of-
What
The
if
hell
they
with the
found
show?
under there that shouldn't be there?
like
Like, give me an
scraps of
example.
Human
scraps
bone?
scraps of leather. Well, human
Scraps
bone
of
is like
leather.
whatever. But
They
yeah,
found
scraps of leather.
150 feet in the ground though.
Yeah, there's unless somebody was digging a strip mining pit that deep, which crazy guy with the cigar may have been doing. I don't remember how
Right.
deep he dug, but
I mean, I just want to
It
say that
shouldn't
all
be
this is
that deep.
documented. That this is documented. It's true that there was something dug,
Right.
with planks. Like this is all. I mean,
yeah,
they went through. I smell food.
I smell food too.
Oh,
Must be coming from Jimmy's.
Freaking hungry, man.
Jeez, we gotta go.
What is he making?
I have no idea.
But here's the thing. Here's
No,
my
but
point.
let's there's documented history of something being buried under the ground. We
Right.
have years and years of people afterwards trying to find it.
Mhm.
And again, I have to tip my hat to the Laginas and the very meticulous way that they're doing this, because the guy before just came in with a big ass backhoe and
Well,
just started just
look.
tearing ass.
Well,
through
and that's my
everything.
point. You
You
see,
can't do that anymore.
no, you can't.
You can't do it anymore. But
They
I mean,
wouldn't
like,
be able to. Like,
I wish that the people who came after the original founders would have taken their time and
did
been
that.
more meticulous and thought about things. They kind of just were so treasure happy that they
Right.
knew something was there. We got to get there as fast as we can.
yeah, they're
And
cowboys.
when you do that, you're careless. And do I believe that there's booby traps? No.
That's what I said. Booby
No.
trap.
There's
Yeah.
no.
from Google.
I don't believe there's booby traps. I mean, you have a water table, and when Scott Walter was talking about it with us,
No,
I
that's-
wholeheartedly agree. This is a water table.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other piece of it too. You said there's these things that are buried 150 feet below. Well, right now they're 150 feet below.
Mhm.
But if they were, so you got a hill here and a low spot or a valley here, and this guy's going around with his bulldozer
Just
pushing
hitting
all this
everything.
dirt.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
20 feet
Right.
below ground, which could just be something natural, is now 150 feet below ground because they just piled a crap ton of dirt on it.
Okay.
They've changed the entire landscape
Yes,
of that
they have.
island.
I agree, but they're also finding all this stuff at random depths, right? They're finding leather at certain depth.
Yeah.
They're finding
Parchment.
Parchment.
They did find
I
parchment,
know.
pieces of parchment. Like, what is that doing? Whatever 100 feet under the ground,
Ancient toilet paper.
100 feet under the ground,
I mean, we
But
could
it might not have-
parchment with writing.
I agree with Joe. So if we were out in a sandbox right now, okay, and that sandbox in its natural state had all these humps and hills and all this kind of stuff, right? And then Ken comes by with his brand new ATV and plows all that shit over. Now, before I do that, there's a bunch of gummy bears and like random pieces of candy that George likes all over on top of these
crayons.
And I push all that over and then back it all up. And then you go and start digging meticulously like an archaeologist. I guarantee you there's going to be gummy bears, 2.5 feet down, and there's another gummy bear 6 inches below the surface. And you're going to start making these conjectures like, well, it must have been that there was a Templar here dropping gummy bears 600 years ago and also 15 minutes ago. And
It's an island. Think of all the hurricanes that have hit that island.
Okay, but what about the wood that they pulled up that had Roman numerals on them?
Okay.
That were hand hewn.
I mean, Roman
I'm not saying people weren't there. I mean,
could they just be lions?
the Super Bowl uses Roman numerals. It doesn't mean it's old.
It's not something that modern construction would do.
I mean, my IKEA furniture has like an A here and it matches up with an A on this thing, and that's how I know to put them together.
On a sticker.
It's not the same thing.
Okay. Is your IKEA furniture hand hewn?
No.
Okay.
It's made by robots.
They're
Slaves.
and plus
Robots named Sven.
Yeah.
No, but
The
you get what I'm
Sven
saying
2000.
though. Like, what is giant logs that look like support beams with Roman numerals on them, so they knew exactly where doing 150, give or take, feet under the ground, which means, regardless if you believe in the Oak Island treasure or not, someone was freaking down there. Someone was down there.
Didn't they find those in the cove though?
Yeah, those
It was
are
like under
hand
sediment.
They
hewn.
found him in
underwater.
H8 too. One of the
Oh, really?
Yeah, they found
Okay.
him because I remember one of the guys saying that's the same Roman numerals we found at the cove as well, which to me is also very interesting. The cove.
I can't wait for someone to come 300 years from now and dig up our landfills and be like, "Oh, look at
Yeah.
it."
Take
No,
a
I
look at
hear.
my
I know
septic
what you're
system.
saying. Something was there. Like there was some kind of engineering project going on there.
But it could have just been really
Could've-
industrious farmers.
Right.
150 feet in the ground.
Well, I mean, now it's 150 feet in the
Right.
ground
Might have
after
got shoved
like,
down a hole.
after
Even
Cigar
if it's
Man.
90 feet in the ground. I mean, do you
gotta-
know how far 90 in the ground is?
Yeah, fair enough. But
What about 50 feet?
I got to find out the name of the guy with the
Yeah.
bulldozer.
Yeah, his name is like
who the
right
hell
on
is going to
tip of
dig
my tongue.
50 feet
Well, here's the thing.
under the ground?
They've also
to
been
put shit.
the treasure hunters
Mhm.
over the. I mean, at this point, it's almost centuries that they've been looking for this stuff. They were
Mhm.
drilling this entire time too. So, in addition to just kind of like bulldozing the land and strip mining it, they're also
Mhm.
digging.
Mhm.
So if they hit something that's at 25 feet and then they shove it all the way down to 150, and then the Laginas come by and they're like, "Oh, this is original depositor," it's like,
Okay.
that
That would
nothing
be-
really is anymore.
Okay, fair enough.
That's my
I guess the whole way I look at it is not. I kind of go to the who and why. Can we
Yeah.
all agree that something was buried at least pretty damn deep in the ground?
that's what the record says.
Okay, that's what the record says. That's. I mean,
Whether it's still there or not,
the original people.
yeah,
They dug to 90 feet and then they pulled away that last thing and then the tunnel flooded.
yeah, the ones that
But they went 90 feet.
the McGinnis
The
brother
McGinnis
that
brothers,
went
right?
out to the
Can we agree that's 90 feet, right?
Yep,
Okay.
that's where they found the tablet. With
That's
all
where they
the
found the tablet
stuff
with all
in
the chintzy writing and shit on it.
Yeah.
Or the
Aliens.
coded message because it wasn't whatever. And again, I know
Those
this.
aliens.
I know that there's speculation on whether or not it really existed and all that stuff, but they do have, I think, a
They have a
photograph
picture
of it
Yeah, in
in
that
a
antique
window.
store or something,
With
or
some-
bookstore.
with the
book
goofy
binding.
shit written on it.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So this is a real tablet.
We
So-
can assume that it is.
So okay. So we can assume that
We
it
have
is
pretty good first.
pretty good
person.
evidence that
Yeah.
this was clearly something that was dug up
Yep.
and put in a window. Now, granted, somebody can just say, "Oh, I have the stone," write some shit on it and stick it in their window and say, "Yeah, this is the actual one,"
Yeah.
which could be the case.
Well, I mean, everything back then is kind of word of mouth, right? So we're assuming that it's correct because there's no other, like, there's no objective way to say that
Correct.
this stuff actually happened, but it's probably the most believable or the most credible thing
Mhm. So
from that period.
we'll just go with we'll go with the McGinnis 90-foot
in
reference. We'll just say 90 feet. Okay. We'll just say that underneath that stone, hypothetically, something was buried.
Mhm.
Okay. why would you bury something at 90 feet in the ground? We're just using 90 as a reference. Clearly, they're saying that they believe it's deeper. But why would you? What purpose would it cause for you to bury something 90 feet in the ground?
It smells bad.
Yeah, I mean that's a big job back then.
It's a huge job back then.
For what reason?
What reason?
I guess the Laginas would say, "Oh, well, it's because of the flood tunnels. You have to dig it deep so that you can have the flood tunnels." So,
no, but why would you want flood tunnels?
I mean, if I was hiding some pirate treasure or something like that, would I dig 90 feet down at that point in history?
No, because they get it back out. I got to dig it back
Yeah,
out.
you gotta
exactly.
dig that
It's a
shit
pain in
back
the
up.
ass.
So
You just want it to be nondescript on the surface. That's it.
right.
Uh-huh.
And to my point, to that point, it's likely something you're permanently disposing of.
Right. Or
You're
you
gonna
don't
dig
want
something-
anyone to get their hands on.
Ever.
Like the
Ever.
Ark of the Covenant.
Right.
Could it be?
But why wouldn't
Potentially.
you want somebody? Eventually, you might want somebody to get their hands on. Why would you want that destroyed and removed from
Maybe
history
not.
forever?
I mean, if you're going to go with the story of the Ark of the Covenant, people who looked at it instantly dead.
That was
just Indiana Jones, dude. Yeah.
No,
I mean, it's a cool story, but it's just
no,
Indiana
it's in the
Jones.
Bible.
It's in the Bible.
Yeah, the
That
people
your
who were
face melted off.
they were carrying the fucking thing, and they
They got sick.
yeah.
There was like a pestilence about it, but
Yeah.
it wasn't like
See, God damn it, Joe, I know my scripture.
Okay,
It
so if
wasn't
there's
about
something,
looking at it. It was just
There you go, conspiracy theorist. I know what the hell I'm talking about. I do read the Bible. I'm not a devil worshiper.
That doesn't mean you're not a devil worshiper. It just means you read the Bible.
I wear a shirt that says "Y'all need Jesus."
Okay, then that's
Not
evidence
wearing it
enough
today.
for me.
didn't Sun Tzu say know your enemy? So a Satanist might
Yeah,
read the Bible.
exactly.
Anyway,
It's wise to study.
well,
the
then he's
ways
gonna
of
know
those
you're
adversaries.
gonna lose. Anyway, that was a League of Their
Oh,
Own
boy.
reference.
Hmm.
But you would bury something at 90 feet down because you don't want anyone to get their hands on it
Ever.
ever.
Okay.
Why? If it's jewels, yeah, I want to get my hands on that shit because it's money and I
Right.
can use it to make me filthy, stupid rich or make my kids rich.
So would it have to be something that would be a detriment to mankind?
That
Almost
would
like your
either
old like Pandora's box type deal.
correct.
To unleash all the demons on
Correct.
the earth or something. Like
So that means it's one of three things. One, it's going to blow people's minds,
Hmm.
to
Aliens.
which it will flip your whole.
aliens.
I'm not going that route,
Okay.
but if you want to tie it to the Lost Book of Enki, go ahead, listen to those because there was something buried in a mountain that Enki didn't want anyone to know about.
Okay.
Moving on.
But it breaks your worldview, right? Like
It
something
breaks
like
you.
that.
It changes your worldview about your religion, your structure.
Okay.
It'll shake the
Yeah.
foundation of mankind. That's something you would
Right.
want people to get a hands on because you want to keep the status quo.
Right.
People hate change. People don't
Theoretically,
like. So you
Well,
have to-
especially those that are in power would want to keep power and potentially it's a threat to their power.
exactly, which
Yeah.
is why somebody would steal it, hide it, and dispose of it as best as
Or
you can.
destroy it forever.
What if you can't destroy it?
Throw it in a volcano.
Yeah.
What if you can't destroy
It
it?
could have gone to Hawaii instead of Canada.
I'll give you an example. What if it's a nuclear bomb?
Well, I was going to say plutonium. Like,
But
I
then
thought
you'd
it
have
was-
some kind of radiation in the soil.
You mean like the Ark of the Covenant killing people and getting them sick?
Right, but why wouldn't it still be throwing off? You'd have radioactive soil now in Oak Island.
Have they ever checked it?
I think they'd be getting sick. No,
Next on episode 8.
Yeah, I think they probably. That's probably one of.
I'm throwing
Sure,
theories out
I
here. I'm
know.
just throwing some shit out here. But one, I feel it would be absolutely, it would shake mankind to the core, which is why you would get rid of it. Two, it's extremely dangerous, such as
Wouldn't you just throw something like that in a volcano though? Like
why
even
not throw it in the
ocean-
bottom of the
Throw it-
freaking ocean? You're already in.
Yeah, you could do that too. You're already sailing across the ocean. to do
Just
it. I'm
try-
just,
just
we're
throw it
just,
over
we're
here.
just playing devil's advocate.
Right.
I know.
So,
Again, I don't have, or you bury something so deep that you wait for a future generation to
that's
find
smart
it.
enough to find it.
That's smart enough and intelligent enough and able-bodied enough to find it,
Like
and
beneath
hope
the
that some
Sphinx.
fucking idiot doesn't drive over it with a backhoe and destroy it.
Was that guy's name
Which is
Dunfeld?
exactly what happened.
Dunfeld.
Dunfeld? Is that him?
Dunfeld or Dun something?
Yeah, it was Dunfeld, I think it was.
Yeah, something like
Dunhill. Dunhill.
Dunfield,
Dunfield, I don't know.
something like
I think it
that.
was-
Dumbass. We'll just call him dumbass, all right? Just to make it, we'll cover all bases. No, but in all seriousness, like that to me would be, the reason why you'd want a future generation to find it is because, you have to think about who controls things in this time period.
Freemasons.
No, no, but like
church, Catholic Church.
depending on who buried it. If you want to go to the Templars, I mean, the Catholic Church just, I mean, if you want to go off the Kensington Runestone 1362 and all that stuff, if you just throw it around here, again, just throwing around theories. Everyone's open for their own interpretation. But let's just go with the Templar theory. The church, they obviously were in the Holy Land, which is where if you're going to talk about, ancient technology and or religious artifacts or stuff.
Yeah, it was kind of the hotbed of that.
I mean, the Pope gave them free reign to do whatever the hell they wanted. First thing that the French went after were all their commanderies and looking for the Templar treasure.
Yep.
Just throwing it out there. If they made their way, across and landed in Oak Island, they buried some shit because they didn't want the church to get their hands on it because it would make the church that just cut them down all powerful.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the church would destroy what would upset their status quo.
Yeah.
So you would bury it to keep it away from them. Nobody could find
I'm
it.
going to throw it in the Vatican
Potentially.
archives or something like that. I
Or
think
throw it
that
back.
happened more often than not.
Correct.
Robert Dunfield. Yeah, that's the guy right there.
That's the guy.
There's
The fucking
cigar,
back- yeah.
cigar loader guy
Yes.
there.
Couldn't have a tank, so we just ran around in a bulldozer.
I swear to God, it
Destroyed
looks
stuff.
like one of the first tanks from World War One.
Yeah.
That's what he's
Yeah.
just driving around in.
Dunfield.
So there's your Templar theory that they would do it. The other thing would be, what's the other one? Pirates. I don't subscribe to the pirate thing.
No.
Pirates would bury shit shallow so they can come back
Right, so
after
they
it
can
later.
come back and get it. They lay low and come
make
back.
themselves stupid rich.
Yep.
So I don't subscribe to the Spanish galleon or gold. That's riches. I don't
Yeah.
subscribe to that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't bury gold 90 some odd plus feet under the ground.
No,
with
because you want to go
intention-
back and get it.
Right, with no
Yeah.
intention to come back and getting it. I mean, I know they've thrown around the lost manuscripts of Shakespeare,
Yeah,
and-
which is absurd.
I mean,
Like I tried to listen to the justification for that theory, and it didn't make any damn
I mean,
sense at all.
people who were burying it obviously know that burying things underground, even the moisture in the soil, will destroy paper.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So why the fuck would you bury it? They wouldn't. So I don't subscribe to that
Garbage
theory.
bags. Make sure you wrap it and put it in a sandwich bag.
So the other thing was deception. And I don't subscribe. I know that's what I think Scott Walter had said to. He believed it that
Where it's all a
it
big
was
ruse.
it's a big ruse. It's buried somewhere else.
to
I don't
distract you
subscribe
from-
to that because for me, I'm just thinking in modern times. Okay, if I'm that guy who has to dig that dummy hole, I'm going to get to about 15 feet and go, "Fuck this!" Like I'm done. Like we'll just patch it back
Well,
over.
one of the theories is that it was dug by slaves, and
Yeah.
they thought they had the dead body of a slave down in one of them.
Fair enough.
Nothing there.
Or it could be like layers. Like you're basically just hiring somebody, even if it's not slave labor, and you're just telling them to dig a hole. Like they don't need to know why. You know what I mean? It's not like you are doing all that work yourself.
It just seems well. Let's be clear. This isn't like 4 or 5 people doing this. This was a whole damn operation. With if you're going to dig a hole that much,
that deep back then.
deep, back then with those many people,
Yep.
you're going to need a port. You're going to need logistics to move X, Y, and Z. Now, granted,
A whole lot of oxen.
Oak Island ain't that big, right?
Pulleys, levers.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, axes.
You're going to need a lot of trees and shit, right? You're going to need animals, yeah, absolutely, to do all your labor. That's a big project for a fake hole,
Yeah.
which nobody knows you're there to begin with. So why would you fake the damn hole, right? If you're burying something in secret, which means nobody has any idea you're on this island to do it in the first place.
Well, the idea is that eventually it becomes, the knowledge comes to the surface that there is something buried. And then as long as you have diversionary holes, you're reducing the risk profile of somebody actually finding what you actually buried.
Right, but nobody knew they were there in the first place.
Well,
Though.
here's the
That's
thing.
what
That's
I
the thing, not at the time.
What if it were the mole people digging up, not us digging
Yeah.
down?
What the hell are you talking about?
right?
Jesus
yeah, really
Christ.
bakes
Yeah.
your noodle, isn't it?
From the
Oh,
center,
Christ.
digging up from the center, the
Yep.
people that live in the center of the earth.
That's what I subscribe to. I
Mole people.
think that's
Digging
what it
out.
is. Well, he's right.
Guys. Mole people.
Mole people.
So that's why I've always subscribed to the Templar.
I mean, it's
That's why I've
compelling.
always subscribed to it because
We're
to
also
me,
Masons, so it's compelling to Masons.
even
It's a great mystery story.
not realistically, because the Masons really, in my opinion, have nothing to do with Oak Island. Besides, with the exception of a couple of Masons who were there in being investors and helpers.
Except for every time something goes wrong when they're getting close to something and the
It's
equipment
Charles
breaks
Bark.
We're gonna
down.
shit on them.
Charles Barkhouse.
You know, if we
Hey
could-
guys, we're just gonna let this drill run overnight. By the time we wake up in the morning, we'll be down in the secret vault area. Just everybody go to bed.
oh yeah, bro.
10 o'clock at night. They get up 3 o'clock in the morning. Ring, ring. Hey
Yeah.
guys, it's Charles Barkhouse. The hydraulics failed on the drill, and it's now permanently stuck. That we can't go
I'm
down that
sorry,
hole
brother.
anymore.
I'm
We
sorry,
can't go
brother.
down
They
that
got
hole.
their freaking panties twirled in their ass.
Sorry, guys.
Seriously though, wear our shirt on your show, please.
So, getting back into so the theories that are what is it? Sir Francis Bacon.
Yeah,
hmm
I wouldn't be shocked if he was involved in some way.
Wasn't he?
He was
part of
very
the family of
prominent.
Templars, right?
And a Mason and a
And a
Freemason,
Mason.
yeah, and wealthy.
In wealthy.
And in
So-
the neighborhood a few times.
Yes,
There's the Rochefoucauld family,
Yeah.
yes,
which were tied to Templars back in its day.
right. Isn't that with the woman that passed away and Rick cried a lot and gave them all
Halpert.
the papers? and
No,
stuff?
yes. That was.
Yeah,
she had all the-
theory.
all the stuff
Susan
in there.
Halpert or something
Yeah.
like
Yes.
that. Or, yeah.
Her I didn't mind. You know who I really like? Billy.
Billy Gerhardt,
Yeah.
the heavy equipment operator.
love
I
him.
love that guy. He's like, okay.
He's so
Hey, we're gonna
loud.
dig over here now. Okay.
Okay.
It's a little wet. I don't know if they. Okay.
But I bet
Like,
you the
he's-
guy could
he's
thread a
fine.
freaking needle with that.
Oh, yeah.
machine. Like, he's good.
No, I've seen him
Like,
driving
that's
around.
a
these,
skill.
like, planks.
I think people
Yeah.
like that's underrated as
No,
skill.
no,
Like
I know.
he's precise with that
Yeah.
freaking thing. You
the
kill
ground's
somebody.
like washing out underneath his
Yeah.
equipment, and he's still just like,
He's like,
he
yeah,
doesn't even care.
Him and Laird.
Work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. Can you dig this boulder and drop it right over here next to my brother without killing him so we can drill a hole? Yeah,
Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah, I got it.
Hey Laird, Billy's bulldozer backhoe fell into the river. We think he's drowning. Yeah, it might be. It might be.
So
It's a possibility.
they did have. You guys are assholes. So they had this coin, right? That they found.
they
It had
found
the
a few.
square in the middle.
Chinese coin, allegedly?
I do not believe that is Chinese.
I think
Okay.
the button.
If you go back,
Could be.
if you go back to when they were talking about the cross that they found, the Templar one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and if you watch that episode when they talked to the Grand Master of Knights Templar of Scotland or whatever the hell they talked to, he showed them a picture of the Knights Templar when they would wear a cross,
Mm-hmm.
and they had circles with squares in the middle, punched out in the middle near the cross.
Okay.
That's what that looks like to me.
I'd have to go back and look if I were still watching, but I'm not.
That
Uh,
that's interesting.
think about it. Go back to that episode, watch it, and then watch that when he's talking about the necklace with the
Yeah.
cross, and they used to put the
The thing
whatever
in
the hell
thing.
it was on.
You know, it was like they're
It's got the same
Better be,
square punch as
basically.
that cross, and I don't know why they didn't pick up on that in the episode.
well, they kind of like they mentioned
They're
it once
saving
when
it.
they found it, and then nobody ever said anything about that coin ever again, which is weird.
I just,
So,
I
yeah.
would wonder if it's, you know what they got to find? They just got to find like a freaking like a Templar sword, just a big ass.
Yeah.
How about some
Big old
chainmail?
claymore.
Like one of those chainmail.
Oh,
hooks.
chainmail with chainmail small. The chains on them are real small. Like that would fall apart.
I want one of those big Papa Pump hoods, like the chainmail hood that Scott Snyder used to wear. You know what I'm talking about? I need one of those.
Holla if you hear me.
Big Papa Pump's your hookup. Holla if you hear me. Where all my freaks at?
Chainmail, I think, would break down. And realistically, the only thing that they would carry would be a sword, if anything.
Yeah.
Don't forget, though, a lot
I mean,
of
if the
Knights
axe
Templar.
heads lasted this long, a sword could last this long.
Well, don't forget, a lot of the Templars, that's what people always think. They're just knights on horses with swords and everything.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Cool
no,
chainmail.
no. There was a whole logistical, they were a complete an empire without a home, right?
Yeah.
They had bankers, they had squires, they had
yeah.
they had priests, they had their own priests, they had
Yeah.
the
And-
knight fighting force was a small group
Right. I mean,
of fighting monks.
at their basic form, they're Cistercian monks, which just believe in labor as a form of their
right.
So
But
labor
I
like
mean-
building, digging holes for no reason, or putting wood up
for
90 feet in the
example.
ground.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing would be, I mean, think about it. Now they've got out of Europe. They're on their way across the ocean, right? They're heading to. They got their treasure with them, right? Whether you can debate all day where they went. Well, we know. I mean, it's been proven. It's documented that the fleet at La Rochelle disappeared.
Mhm.
Poof, gone.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what happened to them. There's people who have said they turned into pirates. They dropped the cross and they picked up the Jolly Roger. It's
Yeah,
been a
which is
speculation.
possible.
They could have went to Scotland and helped Robert the Bruce fight for the war for
Yep.
independence.
Yeah, I've read that.
I could believe that too.
They were also well known for trading with Scandinavians. Scandinavians were already in Greenland at this point.
Mhm.
Proven fact.
Yeah.
So I mean, they could have just like, hey, we got to get the fuck out of Dodge. We got some shit on our ship.
Yeah,
Get us
that's
out of
true.
here. And sailed over, and they were like, oh, yep, see that island right there? Perfect. That's where we'll bury it.
But the best bet is
So-
regardless of which of these theories is true, they're
Mhm.
probably not dressed up in their mantles with their
Thank you.
swords. You, know
That's
what I mean?
exactly
You're
what I
not
said.
going to find that.
You're
there.
you're amongst friends, which would be the Scandinavians, right?
Right. You're
Because
gonna
the Scandinavians had no love for the
You're
Catholic
in essence
Church.
going to be
We're
wearing your
pretty friendly
civvies. You're going to be
You're going to be wearing
civvies.
your civvies, right?
You
Or
might
you're
have
gonna-
your tunic with the. You might not even have the Red Cross tunic.
No.
You might just have a
No.
plain
No.
white tunic.
You
on.
might even not even have that. You might be. I mean, if
Well,
you're,
they were monks, so I think they would still have some type of tunic type garb on.
Monkish
would you
garb,
though?
yeah.
Would you though?
Yeah.
The church just took a giant shit on your
That's
organization.
all they got, though.
I mean, Joe only went for a weekend. He still wears his.
I love it. Yeah, I still have the hood in the car.
No, but I'm making a point though. Let's compare it to modern day Freemasonry.
Yeah.
Okay. If we were persecuted, would you be rocking lapel pins and wearing aprons and keep all that shit? Or are you going to go incognito? What are you going to do with all your Mason hoodies and all your Mason
I'm
t-shirts?
walking down the street in my tux.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, digging holes, digging holes with my tux.
Christ, Here we go. No, but you got my point though. You're going to go underground.
Yeah.
Digging holes and
You're not
breaking
gonna-
hearts.
you're not gonna-
Mm.
Just, oh God, you're not going to make it a public event. You're not going to make it a public affair. You're not going to be like,
Right.
hey, I'm here. Come
But
get
it's
me.
not like these
Yeah.
guys had a Walmart down the street that they could go buy clothes from.
No,
Right.
but I'm sure they had their civilian garb, or again, they're with
They're
Scandinavians,
monks,
which
they're
were
poor, they own
traders.
nothing.
You could like turn your.
They had
mantle
tons of
inside out.
gold.
Yeah, but
That's
they
one of
can't
the things
wear
the
it.
Templars were filthy rich. Give the Scandinavians gold, they give you clothes. You throw on some fur on your head, and you wear one of those silly circle.
Hey, Olaf, I like them pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Here,
$1.50
I like them
for
fur. I like them furry pants.
So
Here's
your
a
one
couple
is-
rubles.
Your
for
one
you.
assumption would be is that they would blend in, because the church was very. I mean, they had their own spies and shit then, right?
Yeah.
You could say
Yeah.
that they may have even been spying on the Scandinavian culture at this point, because again, the Scandinavians were no friends of the church. You know, they had their own kind of thing. I mean, one could assume back in these times. And you wanted to blend in and not stick out. Be like, oh, we're moving these Templars over here to Canada or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to be in full uniform.
And there's clearly
So
a
you're gonna dump
relationship
your-
there based on they used a lot of their
Right.
sailing routes. So
Right.
that we know.
You're going to dump your sails. You're going to dump your uniforms. You're probably going to
Yeah.
dump your chainmail, because again, you're
Into
also
the
now.
ocean, ostensibly.
You might
Yeah.
not dump the sails. You can make clothes out of it.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
But
Ginger on the
You're-
SS Minnow.
oh
Yeah.
God, but you're going to and you're going to a land that
Those
there's
dresses.
no real threat, right?
That one that said SS Minnow. They
Yeah.
had the cutouts in it.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
all.
Christ.
Sorry, squirrel.
But you're going to a land that there's no real threat anymore.
In theory,
So-
but you know what? If you're exiled and you're like on your way out of the port, you know, if I had to like dump my uniform, the best thing I could think of is just throw it in the water, right? Like you're
Right.
not going to bring it where you're going or like stow it in a
Well, that's
box
why it
and then
wouldn't be at
bury it.
Oak Island.
Yeah.
That's why you're not going to have it there.
Yeah.
You're just going to have.
Oh,
So you're probably not going to have a sword. You're
Right.
probably not going to have. You're going to be you. You're not going to have a sword. You're not going to have chainmail. You're not going to have, with the exception of maybe a cross necklace.
yeah,
Mhm.
true.
Which is why you're only going to find a freaking cross necklace. Maybe
Yeah.
one, maybe two, maybe three. You never know.
Maybe
Ron,
some
do it,
axes,
today.
some like ox shoes.
You're gonna take practical.
Maybe
things
they
for the
melted their
job you
swords
wanna
down
do.
into ox
They
shoes.
could.
They
have
could melted their swords down into plowshares.
Ox shoes.
plowshares.
Plowshares, ox
Is
shoes.
that what they're called?
I don't know.
Plowshares.
Oh man, but
Hmm.
so that's the theory that I'm subscribing to, and I'm not subscribing to it because I'm a Freemason and this is what I want to happen. I'm thinking of it from a practicality point. I'm not going to dig a hole on a freaking island for no goddamn reason, especially not using modern technology like they didn't have.
Right.
Yeah.
They use axes and picks.
Right. I'm also not going to be burying something 90 feet in the ground that I want back later. I'm going to bury something to keep it the hell away from whatever. So now you have to question is, what the hell would you bury?
A time capsule.
Could be.
Isn't that exactly what you do? Like you bury a time capsule with the understanding that you don't want it, but future generations do.
But 90 feet in the ground, though?
Maybe they really liked time capsules. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's the same kind of thing. Something that you don't want humanity to have now, that is, in your opinion, okay at some point in the future.
Right.
Otherwise, you'd throw it in the ocean.
And it's got to be pretty goddamn important, too, right? You wouldn't just,
yeah.
you
Because
wouldn't-
otherwise, you'd try to destroy whatever
Right.
it is. I would
or
think.
something that either A, can't be destroyed, or B, that you want future generations to find.
Right.
So that's why I don't subscribe to the whole pirate treasure, the grand jewels or the crown jewels or the lost Shakespeare.
Yeah, the Shakespeare manuscript. Also, all of the
what's the other things that they said they believe are buried down there?
Let's see what else.
And it's got to be something. Let's be clear: if you're burying it that far in the
They
ground,
said the Ark of the Covenant, Templar gold, like the original, the original menorahs, other religious artifacts. I'm trying to think of what other crazy harebrained stuff they've brought to these guys over the years.
I mean, it's also got to be something that you're going to bury in the ground that you know won't deteriorate.
Yeah.
So, what things don't deteriorate?
Precious metals.
The Ark of the Covenant, yeah, precious metals.
Gold.
Gold, I don't believe deteriorates, right?
No,
Not really. It doesn't tarnish, I don't believe.
Doesn't tarnish. I mean,
no, it's not going to corrode, oxidize, or
right.
anything like that.
And I'm sure they knew about that. That the metals that or things that would corrode or destroy over time. So you're going to bury something in the ground, somewhat of a protective thing that if it gets wet or it gets moisture in it, it's not going to destroy.
It's moist.
So it's funny. I could take moisture. I can't take moisture.
We're talking about the Ark of the Covenant here, man.
I mean, let's speculate. What could it be?
Well, it's supposed to be a wet cell battery, and isn't
Yeah,
that one
that's
of the
true.
theories? So
Wet
it would
cell
be moist
battery.
inside.
That's true. It would need to be.
Killing me. Did they write a pamphlet on that?
Oh, here we go. With fucking-
We're gonna have to ask Joe this question. What were the other things that they speculated were buried there besides like religious artifacts?
Jim Delvaney, they
gold?
buried Joe's soul.
That's possible.
My first place fantasy football soul. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dirtbag. I lost to Danny Collins. I'm in like 8th place.
Yeah,
now.
you
I'm-
dropped out of the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm in the consolation playoffs now.
I got some nice parting
Wait,
gifts
what?
for you.
Yeah, I mean, I went from like 2nd place to
That loss dropped him out of the playoff.
8th in like
Really?
2
I'm gonna have to
weeks.
check this before we leave here, boys.
And
That's
I went
pretty
first
pathetic.
round.
So what do you
bye.
got? What do you think? What do you think could be buried down there, or why would you bury something if taking all this into consideration? What do you got, Joe?
I don't know the why. I don't understand the why. I don't think there's anything there.
At all.
You think
At
it's
all.
just all smokes and mirrors?
Yeah.
So you're subscribing to the same thing that
The
brother Scott Walter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to feel differently,
Mhm.
but after 7 years of watching this, and after about 100 years, people have been digging there and finding nothing. Starting to believe there's nothing.
Okay. But
At
they
one
are
time I
finding
thought-
things though. They're finding
Nothing of real substance.
leather. They're
though.
finding
It's not substantive though. They're finding a lot of stuff that they're trying to make a big deal out of, but it ain't gold.
I mean, you could walk into the Naugatuck State Park and go find arrowheads if you really,
really.
Yeah.
if you walk through enough. And
Oh, yeah.
a lot of this
The-
area,
yeah,
you can find
all of New
find
England.
artifacts like that.
Okay.
So it's like,
Okay.
I'm not going to
Yep.
find ox shoes, but unless we're at Rafferty's house.
that's true. Plowshare.
My name's Dewey Oxenberger. My friends like to call me Ox.
I can't do.
In case you haven't noticed, I have a bit of a weight problem.
No, no, I
No.
can't do
You look
it,
great.
mate.
No.
Ken,
told
what do you
you.
got?
All right, so I think I'm going to agree with you. Okay, I think at some point there was some like the McGinnis and his friends that went out to the island and saw the lights and stuff that started the whole thing, and they found a pit, and there was wooden planks every 10 feet. I'm okay with that. I'm going to say okay, that probably happened. So something at some point was probably buried in the island. That's probably the only thing that ever was.
Mhm.
My take is it's not there anymore. I don't know what it was, but it's not there anymore.
Mhm.
And everything since then is just, people dreaming of, having these delusions of grandeur, thinking that there's all kinds of riches on this island, dug the living crap out of it. And even if there was anything there, you're not going to find it now.
Okay.
But I think that pit is
So-
long since plundered.
Ken brought up a good point, and something I wanted to ask about. What about the lights now that supposedly they seen from Oak Island, and actually
That's
I
what
believe
them out there, yeah.
can be seen still to this day? They find weird lights that just randomly are on Oak Island.
Sulfur gas from the swamp.
Could be swamp
Okay.
gas, yeah.
Swamp
Swamp
gas.
gas. Okay.
Swamp gas.
Okay. It's a fair point.
Just
It's
It's a standard
Totally.
U.S. government cop out right there, but okay.
it's the mole people.
Fucking weather balloons.
The mole people releasing.
The mole people's
The
like
mole
headlamps.
people.
and shit. Yeah.
I
I don't know about the
know.
weird lights. I thought that was strange too. I thought it was when they talked about it in the show. I thought it was just there's people with lanterns and stuff, and they're out there digging, and that's what that was about.
We're gonna shut this down in like 2 minutes, but
Okay.
you got to take off. Go ahead.
I'll wait for 2
All
minutes.
right.
Just make sure it's 2 minutes.
So I'm just gonna end on mine, and then we're getting the hell out of here. I actually, well, how do I put this? Not a big conspiracy guy. I'm not a big guy who doesn't think rationally and everything, but I think it's something more extraordinary. Reason being is you have the lights, you have something that was buried very, very deep in the ground.
So when you say extraordinary, are you thinking something along the lines of the occult / supernatural?
Ark of the Covenant kind of thing.
I'm thinking something that would be earth shattering. And I
Okay.
don't know if I believe in the whole Ark of the Covenant thing.
Something of a similar.
And I mean, yeah, okay, I'll even take it Ancient Aliens, okay? It's again, this is all coming from the fact that I read the Lost Book of Enki and stuff like that. That I am a firm believer that there was a civilization on this earth that was far more technologically advanced than we are at one point.
Yeah.
Whether it was bestowed to us by the Anunnaki or something along those lines, but
I agree with
Or
that.
we just came further.
You know,
in the
Machu
burning
Picchu
of
and those
the
places like that.
Library of Alexandria. Lost
there was some.
knowledge, all that.
I mean,
Exactly.
take it to ancient Egypt, Machu Picchu, and all these
You can't.
monolithic stones that have just been left that modern technology cannot move,
Nor can they recreate
nor can they recreate. So
the way those things fit like puzzle pieces. You can't do that.
whether it was the Anunnaki, if you want to take it to the Lost Book of Enki, or whether it was just our ancient technology that was wiped out during the deluge, the flood.
Mhm.
I think people had found something that was from that era of advanced technology, and they didn't want it to get into a quote unquote Catholic government's hands.
Decided that humanity
Decided
wasn't ready for
we're
it.
not ready for this shit
Okay.
because it's going to blow your religious theories completely out of the water
Right.
and all your boogeyman beliefs of religion. And then this is my opinion. I want to be. This is not the
Yeah,
strict. This is the sole opinion of
Yeah.
of one of the
Does
hosts
not
of the show.
necessarily represent
It's
any
not-
Grand Lodge jurisdiction or any Blue Lodge or any Masonic body whatsoever.
Nor the
Thank
other
you.
hosts of the Freemasons podcast.
So, with that being said, I believe it's a technology that has been long lost. That people got their hands on it. Templars would be my theory, where they were like, holy shit. Like
Yeah.
everything that we've been taught is completely wrong. And there are many theories of the Templars actually learning of this and starting to get away from the Catholic Church, which is why they were shut down.
So,
So
it's aliens.
it is of my opinion that this technology was, or whatever it was, you want to call it the Ark of the Covenant, call it this technology. We're going to call it technology.
Okay, we'll call it technology.
Because even if you look at the Bible and read about the Ark of the Covenant, it was a
Right.
fucking technology.
Basically,
Yeah.
technology.
It's a technology.
Yeah.
This technology was found by the Templars. They wanted to get it the hell away from the Catholic Church and the corrupt powers of Europe at the time.
Right.
And they buried that bitch so nobody can find it. And it's still sitting there on Oak Island, and they buried it as best they could. I believe that they booby trapped it and they tore up that entire island to keep this away in the hopes that it would never fall into the hands of mankind ever again until an age of reason
Right.
or
Okay.
An age of the Laguna brothers.
Age of Aquarius.
That's what I firmly
Maybe
believe,
not.
and that's what I stand by. Whether I'm wrong, who knows? I'll be long dead before they'll ever find
I
out.
don't
So
know.
noted.
Well, you might find out next season. Just keep watching.
I just hope it's not.
on the curse of Oak
I just hope it's not a
New
nuclear
Day
bomb.
Challenge on Oak Island.
I just hope it's not a nuclear bomb while they're sitting there shoving pipes into the ground.
Yeah, well,
Can
you
it
know.
be? Did the Laguna brothers just find an axe?
On the series
Or is
finale.
it an ancient alien left, an ancient artifact left by the mole people?
That's not
Can
the
it be?
voice.
Can it be?
On the last season of
Did the
Oak Island.
Laguna brothers just
It's like
find?
if Billy Madison
The
was narrating it.
Well, because that's how I hear it in my head. Because I hate the narrator guy.
Oh.
All right.
I will make fun of the narrator guy with you real quick,
Yeah.
and then we'll shut this down. You ever notice the narrator? You're going to pick this up every time you watch the show now. They find something. He's like, oh, look. And he's like,
Can it be?
a spike on Oak Island? Like, it's a
Found in the
fucking-
swamp?
a nail on Oak Island? Could it have been used to
Yeah.
nail a building or a board?
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit, asshole. Like, toilet paper on Oak Island? Could this be from the searchers? Like,
Yeah.
did they take a crap in this area of Oak Island? Like,
Yeah,
it's like,
that was
God,
the
like
original-
everything they find.
original
It's like he
deposit.
like says it with a question, and it's the most annoying shit in the planet.
A hole in the ground in the middle of the woods? Can it be an ancient latrine left by the mole people?
All right, brothers, what do you say?
All right, let's shut it down.
Yeah.
All right, brothers. For the Freemasons podcast, I am right worshipful brother George Marjorie signing off.
We're for Brother Joe signing off.
I'm Worshipful Brother Ken signing off.
Have a good night, everyone.
Night, YouTube.
Sorry, guys. I gotta go.
Yeah, do your thing.
It's all good.
Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Oh, good night, brothers and
I
friends.
hope the shenanigans.
Yeah, this was fun. I had a
This
good
was
time.
fun.
This was enjoyable.
Thank you all for tuning in. Have a good night.
Gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with my